Oh, man.
Okay, I'm here for the right announcement. Good. I brought the right seat.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a wonderful day to be here. Isn't it great? Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to welcome Premier Wynne and Minister Del Duca to Durham. But today it's very, very special. Actually, Minister Del Duca was out here about 3 days ago.
That's right.
Announcing the 407 extension to Harmony Road. That's also, everywhere I go, I hear, oh, we get to ride the 407 for free for at least 6 months. so it's all wonderful news. I wish to acknowledge all other dignitaries at this point. If I miss anyone, I do apologize, and please come forward and let us know. I welcome Regional Chair Roger Anderson, Chief Kelly Laraka, Mayor Gil Braconier, hope I got that right, Bob Sanderson, and our local favorite Mayor Adrian Foster, Tom Royd, Mayor John Henry, members of council from Clarington, and all other members of councils who might be here this morning. I also wish to welcome my colleagues behind me. Joe Dixon, Honorable Tracy McCharles, and Lou Rinaldi. And you know what? I couldn't have done it without their support.
Bob Sanderson.
And Bob Sanderson. Did I miss him? Oh, no, I Mayor of Coburg. Port Hope, sorry there. Okay. This today wouldn't have happened without the support of all my colleagues, and Tracy and Joe, especially the members from Durham. Every day we pester and we bother the Premier and Minister Del Duca. And, you know, all my colleagues and all members of cabinet, they went to the cabinet table and they lobby for this. So it's so wonderful. So I'll give you a joke. I see my good friend here, Minister of Transportation, Mr. Del Duca, the Honorable Del Duca, and I'll see him with this big case. He has the biggest case at Queen's Park. And I'll say, why are you walking around with that case? And he says, it's all the money for the GO train to Bowmanville. And we always say Bowmanville and keep forgetting Curtis. So it's GO train to Curtis and Bowmanville. And it's not only GO train for Curtis and Bowmanville. All the surrounding areas, Coburg and Port Hope and Scugog and Peterborough, they all will benefit from the train coming out here to Bowmanville, Curtis and Bowmanville. I have to keep remembering to say Curtis and Bowmanville. And, well, Oshawa already have a train, but they'll be getting other stops. So it's great. And so it's a historic day for Durham, and especially for Curtis and Bowmanville. I'll say that one more time. It's not often we get to be a part of something so significant and such a transformation and change for a community. But today we get to do that. We get to transform Clarington from a bedroom community to a community with growth and potential for jobs and bringing jobs to the area. So people will be moving out here rather than to Toronto. It's also great for families. They get to come home and spend more time with their children in the evening, whether it's to a soccer game or to a baseball game or a hockey game. And the quality of life improves. And that's important, quality of life for families. And that's one of the important aspects of all of this. So again, I thank you all for being here. You're all special guests today, although I didn't mention everyone individually by name. But it's so wonderful. I didn't get much sleep last night, to be quite honest. I got up thinking about this, and It's such a wonderful community effort. And we did this together. And when I first got elected, before knocking on doors, the main theme was, we need a GO train out here. And that resonated with me. And I said, that's something I'm going to work really, really hard to make happen. So the first day I went to Queen's Park, I started. And I did that for close to 2 years. And the Premier was very supportive. The Premier in the interim came out here, I believe, twice. And she mentioned it. She was at our community barbecue and she mentioned the GO train to Bowmanville. And Minister Del Duca was a champion of this as well. So we did this all together as a community. And it would be remiss of me if I forgot my wonderful staff who worked tirelessly on this. And they're all here today, and they deserve a round of applause for this as well. I am sure the Premier and the Minister will tell you, I discussed this as I am repeating myself, ad infinitum, and we did this, and it's done. So, but here we are today, and I'm happy to turn the microphone over to the Premier, who always manages to come to Bowmanville, as I alluded to earlier, and the hottest day. And today is the first day of summer, and it's wonderful, and we'll have many sunny, summery days from now on. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Granville. Thank you, Granville, and it is great to be here with you. And Granville is nothing if not persistent, let me just say, on your behalf. I want to begin by acknowledging the Anishinaabe people in the Williams Treaties and Treaty 20 area, and recognize the neighboring communities of Alderville First Nation, Curve Lake First Nation, and Hiawatha First Nation, and the long history of First Nations and Métis people in Ontario, and show them respect today. So, again, thank you all for being here. It's great to be here with all of my colleagues who've all been introduced, all of the mayors and councillors, Chair Anderson, who's also a persistent individual, in case you didn't, in case you'd never known that. The Greater Toronto and Hamilton area is growing rapidly. You all know that. In the decades ahead, it'll remain one of North America's fastest growing regions. The influx will be the same as the entire populations of both Montreal and Metro Vancouver moving here. This is a vote of confidence in the dynamic, competitive environment that we're building, a place that attracts people and businesses because it's where opportunities are created, those opportunities that Granville was talking about. Consider the numbers. A record 85.5% of our kids graduate from high school. We attract nearly half of all the venture capital in Canada. We've added 80,000 new jobs in the past 12 months. Unemployment is at its lowest rate in years, and forecasts put Ontario as one of Canada's strongest economies for the foreseeable future. Notre plan économique fait ses preuves. L'économie de l'Ontario est en croissance et crée des emplois. But there's a downside, as you all know, there's a downside to that kind of fast pace of growth. It's a downside that we feel, all of us, we feel it when we're stuck on a congested highway, or we're on an overcrowded bus, or when our kids are sitting in an aging classroom. So it's why our economic plan is the largest, includes the largest infrastructure investment in Ontario's history, about $160 billion over 12 years. We're now 3 years into this historic project to build the province up, to build it up for today, because that creates jobs and that's critical, but it's laying a foundation for tomorrow. Around Durham, it means the 407 East extensions and the new East Durham link to connect the 407 to the 401. The first phase opened today. Awesome. It's a very good thing. It means new or renovated hospitals and schools, and it means steady improvements to transit systems. But to realize our region's true potential and to do everything we can to position Durham and the surrounding economy to continue to be part of the GTHA's growth, the GO train cannot keep turning around at Oshawa. We've heard that, we understand that. Oshawa, Curtis, Bowmanville, Clarington, Port Hope, Cobourg, and all of Northumberland County need faster and easier access to the seamless regional transportation network that we're building. Who did I miss? Did I miss somebody? No, oh good, okay. I got Northumberland. So today we're announcing that the largest infrastructure investment in Ontario history will include the extension of GO Rail network from Oshawa right here to here in Bowmanville. Very good news. To introduce GO Rail service to Bowmanville, we'll extend the Lakeshore East GO line by almost 20 kilometers along the CP freight line north of the 401. We'll build 4 new GO stations, with the easternmost station right here at Martin Road. Pour la première fois, l'Ontario prolonge le parcours du train GO jusqu'à Bowmanville. These new GO stations are going to make travel easier for people from miles around, but they're also going to spur economic development. I want to thank all of the local leaders. Now, we've joked about Granville's persistence, and he has been persistent, but all of the local leadership, whether it's municipal leadership, whether it's provincial leadership, have pushed for, have raised this issue with us at any opportunity. And you've prepared your communities to seize the economic opportunities that GO train service is going to bring. So it's not just a matter of making the announcement. It's not just a matter of making the decision. It's a matter of everyone being ready for that decision and understanding what it will mean and what the development opportunities are. I want to thank Bruce McQuaig. He was not able to be here. Unfortunately, there was a personal injury on the GO line this morning. He was on the train, and so he wasn't able to be here this morning. But Bruce McQuaig, who is in leadership at Metrolinx, has been working with our partners at CP Rail, because, as you know, in order for this to happen, we need to have that agreement with CP Rail. So I want to thank him for the work that he's been doing. As you can imagine, making this extension of GO train service along a freight corridor is complicated. It takes partnership, and it takes some agreements that we're going to need to finalize. But with the partnership of CP, we expect this service to begin by 2024. And together we're building for a future of jobs and growth in Durham and beyond. A future that includes fighting climate change by riding transit, spending less time commuting, and spending more time doing the things that we really love, spending time with our families and in our communities. And I know Granville went immediately to the sports teams, and I know, having spent some time with Chair Anderson, that this is a sports community. This is a community that loves their sports, and so we want to make sure that kids have an opportunity to spend more time with their families because they're able to get home. So thank you very much to everyone. I'm going to ask Stephen Del Duca to come and talk about some of the details of this announcement. But congratulations for your advocacy, and we look forward to making this come to fruition. Thank you very much. Merci, McQuaig.
Well, good morning, everyone. I want to begin, of course, by thanking the Premier for her remarks and for the announcement. And, I have to say, Granville, I didn't know Granville was going to tell you that little joke about my briefcase. And now it's out there in the public. I'm guessing the Minister of Finance and the President of the Treasury Board will be looking for that briefcase next week. Thanks a lot, Granville. Also, I was thrilled to be here, as was mentioned, just last Friday, just a couple of days ago, to announce that we were officially opening 407 East Phase 1 and the 412, which I had the chance to take this morning. If you haven't taken it yet, it's gorgeous. So hopefully you'll get out there and take that. But that means over the span of 3 or 4 days, I've now been in Durham twice with great news announcements. Roger Anderson told me I can take the rest of the week off.
Just till Friday.
Just till Friday, okay.
And then come back.
And come back. I'm really thrilled to have the chance to be here with all of you this morning for what truly is great news for Bowmanville, for Curtis, for all of Durham region. I've said this in the past. Over the last couple of weeks, I believe that the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area is going through what I like to call a transit renaissance right now, thanks to Premier Kathleen Wynne and the Ontario Liberal government. Through our Moving Ontario Forward plan, we are working hard to ensure that the investments that we make to keep goods and people moving help to grow our economy and improve our quality of life. Here in the GTHA, we are all working to build a modern integrated transit system that seamlessly connects people to jobs and jobs to people. That is, in fact, what Metrolinx, the regional transportation agency of the region, has as its sole focus, building the transit that we need today while at the same time planning the transit that we will need for generations to come. And that's why today's announcement, of course, is so very important for Bowmanville and for all of Durham. As the Premier just announced, we are here today to talk about Ontario's commitment to expand the GO Rail network further eastward in Durham Region, which is great news for your commuters. This will create jobs, it will help manage congestion, and it will improve travel for people across this region. Through Metrolinx, we are advancing the service planning and design work that is required to deliver new weekday GO Rail service between Oshawa and Bowmanville. And specifically what we're talking about is 4 a.m. Peak period trips and 4 p.m. peak period trips out here to Bowmanville. So 4 trains in the morning, 4 trains in the afternoon. The planned expansion includes building 4 proposed new GO stations along the Lakeshore East Rail Corridor, north of Highway 401, at Thornton Road in Oshawa, Ritson Road in Oshawa, Curtis Road in Curtis, and here, Martin Road in Bowmanville. In the short term, Metrolinx will also work with the municipalities to run new bus service that will stop at future GO Rail stops. More connections along this corridor will mean improved access and better connectivity to the entire GO network for the people of Bowmanville and the broader Durham region. GO Transit is the backbone of our regional transit network. We've already accomplished so much with respect to building and improving GO Transit service. Since 2003, Ontario has extended GO Rail's network by nearly 100 kilometers. We've opened 14 new GO stations and rebuilt 4 existing stations. We've added more than 31,000 new parking stations across the GO system. I've said this before, I'll say it again. We are making it easier for people to get to school, to get to work, to get to their appointments and get back home safely and easily and faster. And we're ensuring that neighborhoods in and around the Durham region can continue to thrive and prosper through better and more efficient transit infrastructure. Again, I want to thank all of you for being here this morning, and I know it's already been mentioned, but I do want to reinforce that the advocacy of Granville Anderson and the rest of our Durham and Northumberland caucus for this kind of infrastructure investment has been relentless over the last couple of years. I want to thank them. Hopefully they'll leave me alone for a couple of hours now, hopefully. But I also, I wouldn't count on it. But I also want to thank all of the municipal leaders that we have with us here today and so many others that have worked hard, have met with us over the last number of months, over the last 2 years, to make sure that we were moving this forward in the right direction. So thank you to all of you. And with that, I'll turn things over to Chair Roger Anderson. Thanks very much.
Well, Madam Premier, Chief Larocque, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, this is a pretty special day for Durham. I'm pretty sure the minister held off this announcement just so he could drive across the 407 for free. But I think it was worth it, so I thank him in advance for that. Durham Region and our municipalities have been working for a long time on this expansion. Mayor Henry, Mayor Foster, Mayor Mitchell, Mayor Rowett, all their councils have been very, very supportive of this extension. It's not just about getting in and out of the city of Toronto. It's about getting back to your family. And more importantly, with the 407 opening, it's now about being able to come from Toronto and work in Durham. Because with the opening of the 407, we now have huge opportunities for job growth with lands that are available fronting on the 407. With the GO train moving east through Oshawa into Bowmanville, it's another great opportunity. And it's a great opportunity for our friends from Port Hope and Cobourg who might not have to drive into Toronto anymore or get stopped on the 401 on a Friday night. It's not a long drive, but plan an extra hour and a half. Well, with the GO train, that cuts that down, and that means more time for you with your families and your friends. And that's really what improved transit's going to do across the GTAH. And I congratulate the Premier, I congratulate Minister Del Duca. Okay, Granville can leave them alone for 4 or 5 days, but I'm sure we'll find something else that we can do.
I'm sure you will, Roger.
You know,
I think I know what that is already, Roger.
I don't see it. But once again, on behalf of the region, I just want to thank the Government of Ontario for truly having a vision, looking forward. These things don't happen overnight. This isn't a quick construction project. This is a huge project, hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's an investment in our future, it's an investment in Ontario's future, and more importantly, it's an investment in our children's future who are hopefully going to be born here, raised here, educated here, and work here. So once again, on behalf of the region, Madam Premier, thank you very, very much. To our MPPs, thank you very much. And to all the folks from Durham College, UOIT, Trent University, who worked so hard to make this happen, it's the right decision, moving it across 401 to the north side where there's growth. It gets to our urban area. It meets your growth plan. It meets your targets. It's a great decision, so I congratulate you and thank you very, very much on behalf of the residents of Durham. I know you don't want to ask me any questions, so we'll bring up the real boss, Premier.
You can answer them if you want, Roger.
Okay.
Anybody have questions? We're happy to take them. What does this mean for the Durham region? Well, I think it means all the things that we've talked about. It means the potential for economic development. It means an easier commute for people who are going in and out of the city. But it means the possibility of more people coming to the region to live and having that convenient transit. I mean, it's a transformational opportunity for the region. So the completion date is projected to be 2024. I'm going to ask Stephen Del Duca to talk about what's happening right now.
Thanks, Premier. So the largest part of this project from a construction perspective is the building of the overpass to bring train service north of the 401 from to the CP line, and also the building of the 4 new stations itself. So we're not in a position to confirm the start date of the construction because we're still finalizing the details with CP. But people should understand building of an overpass over a 400 series highway is not an insignificant undertaking. Between the design, the procurement, and the actual construction, that will take some significant time. That's as soon as we have a confirmed start date, we'll be happy to update the community.
You just leave that. Sure. Anything else? It's good news. It's just good news. Hallelujah. Okay. Oh, sorry. Hi.
Clarington just purchased land in Curtis, at Curtis Road, which they had hoped that Metrolinx would purchase back from them for the GO train. Is that what's expected to happen?
So I hear Stephen muttering in the background. He said there's still a discussion going on, but I'll ask him to come and speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, Metrolinx, of course, is very well aware of that purchase. There are discussions that are already happening. Those will continue. And again, as soon as we have a specific update on that, we're happy to report that to the community.
Yeah. Well, what I'd like to focus on is the potential for an agreement. That, we were at GM for a great announcement last week, 700 new engineering jobs, and there is a negotiation going on. And my sincere hope would be that they're going to be able to reach an agreement, and we will see that footprint continue in this region. Okay. There's a negotiation going on right now. I'm not going to get into the details of that. It's happening between the parties at the table, and that's where it should happen. We're just very happy that GM is bringing those new jobs, those new engineering jobs to Ontario. They could have chosen many other places in North America. They chose Ontario, and I'll just close by saying one of the things I said in my remarks, which is that businesses come here and expand here because of our educated workforce. It is a very, very important part of who we are as a province, and so we're going to build on that strength. And part of that is making investment in those people, making investments in their education, but also investing in infrastructure, like the infrastructure we're talking about today, because those people who want to come to Ontario, want to live here. I was just in Boston and Washington and Detroit Detroit, and I heard from businesses that are very interested in this area and are very interested in the investments that we're making in infrastructure. Sometimes we don't make the connection between quality of life in employment and the infrastructure and the investments that government is willing to make, and it's a very strong connection. And so we know categorically that making investment in this extension of GO Rail will mean more opportunity, will mean more economic opportunity, because more people will see this as a region where they want to live because it's easy to get around. So I'm very, very confident that this is the right decision, and congratulations to all of you who advocated. Thank you very much. Merci, miigwech.
I think drinks are on Mayor Foster.
For the Premier coming out and visiting the community. By the way, when the sun rises in the east, you guys have heard this before, to greet the GTA, it touches Clarington first, and as part of that, Premier, I have promised you rose petals that when you make announcements, we will give you rose petals. Madam Premier, rose petals, and we have a taste of Clarington.
I think we need to look